Hey fellow duplicants, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Bionics, episode 17, Building a Metal Refinery. So, the next task. Let's go ahead and build ladders here to start to do the systems for cooling. I got diverted for a long time trying to tap the natural gas so that we couldn't run out of oil as fast. It was definitely worth doing, but now back on target. Oh, and hopefully they dig out this thing, because this is going up to 8. Because our carbon dioxide has nowhere to go. It doesn't drain out fast enough. The storage bins down here are for liquefiables. Just so I have a place to put the ice, because the ice is like sitting dangerously where it's going to make a big puddle if it ever melts. But I can also keep it from melting by just keeping the ATN, making it cold. But I'm sure once the metal refinery is starting to run, the ATN this area is going to heat up, and the liquefiables are going to start leaking. So I might even want to engineer a solution where I have like, well, no, I don't really want polluted oxygen coming up for that. So liquefiables are allowed in there, and I'm going to set this up as a low priority suite. No, they're doing it anyway. But this will stop it from, at least temporarily, making a big old puddle. And I can add more room down here, so there's plenty of space for it to spill. And let's go so far as to insulate this a little bit better. So now there's like a pool room below it, I guess. No more geysers that I can see. I haven't actually done a geyser check in a while, but I haven't done a lot of exploration, so I don't think there's going to be any new ones. So, well, let me just keep focusing. I'm trying to catch when this is analyzed so that I can turn on the pump again and get free power. There we go. All the liquefiables are now stashed away. So the way that we want this to set up, I probably am going to need some more igneous rock, so while I build, let's mine some more igneous so that I have plenty for insulated plumbing. So coming into the intake for the metal refinery, we want it to be insulated. And then once it's up here, we want it radiant pipes so that the coolant cools. We're also going to need to probably send, we're going to need to send, at some point, the petroleum up there. And it will serve two purposes. One, it's coolant for the metal refinery, and two, it's eventually going to be jetpack fuel when we're flying around in space. Why? What's the, Can we not get, what is going on? We haven't done this at all. Alright, this is a new 9. There's no path? Oh, there is not a path. You're right. I dug that out. That explains everything. I dug that out so I could build the top of the metal refinery and then failed to realize that I had deleted the path up there. Thank you. That makes a lot more sense. And then we'll have radiant pipes here, where I don't think I need perfectly thermally conductive pipes. Like, I don't think we are going to need to, like, bother with the tungsten. I'll build it without the tungsten, and if I regret it and need better pipes, I can do better pipes. There we go. Now we are... well, this other... Yeah, come on. Now we're farting. And that should allow us to depressurize this chamber. So it's at 13.4. So we'll check back later to see if it reduces down from 13.4. Also, if above... Oh, no, that's the wrong one. If, you're still analyzing. Okay. So, radiant pipes. Let's add a... loop of radiant pipes. I don't know if it's going to be enough. We'll have to tinker. But, you know, that's the idea. And then we're going to want a liquid reservoir to store the coolant. Maybe I'll store the coolant here, I guess. So I'll have to rewire things a little bit, but... So it goes through a cooling cycle and drops back in here. And then what I probably want to have it to do is to be able to loop detecting its own temperature so it can cycle around the ATN over and over and over if needed. So this will essentially fork to... So the output here... And I need to design this so that the petroleum pipe can come up here. But the output here circles back like this. And I'm probably going to make a bunch of mistakes, so I'm going to have to tinker with this, but this is at least the idea. And then I'll hook up automation to be able to detect the temperature so that we can keep cooling the coolant until it's a certain temperature that we dictate as decent. Because we don't want the petroleum to freeze, we don't want the petroleum to boil. We want it to keep it, you know, nice and even. Alright, I'm going to need a lot more igneous for this next project, so let's keep digging it up. Oh, right. Stop my freshwater loop. Someday I'll remember that I should automate this, but today it's not that day today. So I'm priming the skimmer now. Come on. Thank you. And that's probably enough primed water. That's why we're here? Well, I would have failed 10 times over without you guys. I don't deny that at all. So this is the coolant tank, and this is going to need some initial delivery. So we'll have to bring petroleum up from the base here. So this tank outflows will also have to go up, like, oops, more igneous. Oh, it is spaghetti. And this is the wrong material again. Marathon fatigue is kicking in. So we'll have to connect up with this pipe to prime the system with some coolant. And in that case, I probably want a liquid shutoff. This is not a great place to put it, but I'm put it here anyway. Just so that I can control how much coolant gets sent. And then I'll subsequently forget that I have a liquid shutoff and just leave it flowing until it overflows and there's no space for anything. Let's be honest, that's probably what's going to happen. At least I fixed the carbon dioxide problem, I think. So we're at 13.6 last time I checked. We're at 9.5. So it is a significant net negative of pressure. So it will normalize over time. Oxygen was included. Who knew? Just chose to print up some oxalate, which is just sublimating oxygen. Yeah, you can already see some melt here. All right. And this is backwards. Yep. Totally. Intentionally. All right. Liquid. Done. Yeah, you still put stuff backwards after thousands of hours? Well, I appreciate the support and confidence that, like, I'm not too much below average. It's good to know. I'm making the same stupid mistakes that everyone else does. So I don't have any automation here yet for like temperature monitoring for the radiant pipes. So that's to be done. I also might want to like insulate this so that if it heats up, it protects the surrounding tiles. But I'm going to work on the bringing the coolant up first. Oh, the automation wire is already made. I guess I thought of that. So here comes the flow. Petroleum as coolant. Oh, no, 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 no. I thought I had an automation wire. I missed. It's where it was when it was the wrong direction. Yep. Yep. It really is just like that now. Okay. So in a moment here, we're going to get the petroleum as coolant sent up. And oil's about half or so, but there's a lot more oil here that is not too inaccessible if and when I run out. Also totally didn't do this, did I? If below, if above, 1500. Okay, so now we're doing natural gas, and I probably want to watch to make sure the natural gas doesn't just like mass gas us through this vent. So I want to make sure it works well, too. Really? You just really don't want to build that, do you? So here comes the flow of natural gas from the geyser. No polluted oxygen is included yet. But yeah, the gas is going where the gas should go. Cool. And the petroleum is heading to the storage tank. It's not going to stay there, because I don't have automation to stop it from cooling, but, yeah. And then, after the storage tank, goes to the refinery, where it pools and waits. Yep, we have issues. So let's use a traditional filter, because once it overflows, it stops working correctly. So we have a natural gas leak here. I'll use the extra power. It's fine. Oh boy. Liquid, liquid, liquid. I guess we can, start chilling. So, I want a little bit more petroleum scent. I am monitoring it. But while I monitor it, let's fix this. So, ventilation. Gas filter. Well, honestly, the gas filter was, like, not strictly necessary, so I'm not even going to bother filtering it. If a little bit of polluted oxygen gets through there and damages my natural gas generators, we'll repair it. It's going to cost us, like, a little bit of iron. It's not a big deal. Alright. I'm going to say that that's enough coolant. If I need more, I can always add more. It's much harder to add less. It's like salt, right? And then this is going to need to be powered. So we haven't actually solved the whole it needs power issue. Lead conductive wires might make sense here. Except for maybe immediately inside the refinery room, have it be copper. So let's go ahead and set up a power transformer, but in this case, it's going to need to be a bigger transformer. So I'm going to do the large power transformer here. That then connects up to this lead line. And we can also put our kiln up here. So that's another thing that we can add to this area. Do I even have the research for that? Because for steel, we're going to need refined carbon and refined iron. So I can also start hand smashing. Where is the kiln? Oh, yeah, I already have it. We can start hand smashing iron, too. So I'll stick a kiln. I want to put the kiln so that there's room on either side for, like, Weesports. So I'll stick the kiln, like, here. And maybe I'll insulate it a little bit. Not perfectly. I don't care that much. But insulate it a little bit so that... Oh, and then I also want a storage box. Maybe 2 storage boxes. One for refined carbon, one for regular coal. That should work. Then I'm also going to want a storage box for the metal refinery. So the metal refinery can turn refined copper, gold, iron, or tungsten. And let's start researching superheated forging. And also punch some iron. The natural gas supply is much better now. The pressure in here is back to not blowing out your ears. We did miss some ice that fell. Oh, because it, like, because of, yeah, I see. 2 types of liquid caused it. Yeah, that happens. It wasn't that its total volume was too high, it was that the 2 different liquids messed it up. I am probably... Our coolant now is, like, cold, so let's cut this off. And I'm going to need to add some automation so that we don't end up with frozen petroleum in the pipes, because that's going to cause some issues as well. So, the janky way to do this is just a snip for now. And I'll hook up some more automation to be able to manage it. Alright, the ambient temperature in here could be colder, so I'm going to re-enable it now that it's not cooling our coolant down to ridiculously cold temperatures. But I probably also want to do a, and I mentioned this before, but an insulation tiles around, just so that I don't destroy the ice biome. Trying to preserve the ice biome as much as I can. So I'm getting that set up too. Bottom of the liquid pool is missing a block? Yes. That, like, melted out as well. And all that, like, dirty ice melted and outgassed, and it got gross. Still waiting on the kiln. And here, we are going to do coal. And we're going to store a max kilograms of 1,000. Make it tier 9. And then this will be tier 8. So, and I'm also going to dump all the coal out, forcing 1,000 of it to be hauled where the kiln is, and then the other 17,000 to be stored locally. Alright, it's getting pretty chill again, so... so we shouldn't have, like, a mass melt situation. Yeah, it keeps phase changing. It's kind of annoying. We'll get those 2 boxes, put the rest of the ice in. And I might... do that too. I probably should just, like, dig this out. It's gonna melt at some point, so I'll just get ahead of it and put it away. Alright. Blueprint. More shine nymphs. Free illumination. We have so many shine nymphs just, like, floating around, illuminating everything. Makes it nice, I guess. Power transformer made out of lead? Let's not do that. I think, my guess is, we don't have access to easy lead. And then this other box, once we have refined carbon, we'll store it there. And here is iron to steel. So once we have lime, refined carbon, and iron, we can start doing that. The other thing is, we'll queue up fossil to lime. Or actually, I have some eggshells. So let's do eggshells to lime forever. And then fossil to lime like 10 times for a starter. We're going to want to do some dry run and automation before we really fire this thing up, so that we don't cause some super damage. That's pretty cold. So here's the kiln, making refined carbon. And the box for coal is almost full. And we're just, tidying everything up now. Cool. Looking good. So let's think about, some automation here. So one, we want to be able to detect the temperature in the room. Because if it's cold in the room, we want if it's too warm in the room, we want the nullifier to turn on to cool down the ambient air temperature. And that would be a thermosensor. And I'll do the thermosensor here. I also want... Yeah. That might be the... I think I'm going to do an OR gate so that I have a personal override. Oh, but not an OR gate made of iron. Thank you. OR gate made of lead. So either or. So that way, if I think I want to turn it on or off, I can override it. Well, that would be like an AND gate. But I think I want to... Oh, AND gate or OR gate? So an AND gate is like both have to be true. OR gate is only one has to be true. I'll do an OR gate. Alright, so we'll hook up the sensor and the switch. And then once that's hooked up, I'll hook it up to the gate below it. And that will enable or disable the AATN. The other thing that we're going to need is whether or not the coolant goes for another cool loop. So, I don't think the liquid bridge there is going to work out well. I think the way we want it is that the coolant... We want a liquid pipe thermosensor to be able to detect the temperature of... Well, let me just get rid of the security door. Detect the temperature of the coolant within the pipe. And probably... The only thing I might want to consider is a way to continually circulate the coolant even if we don't want to cool it. But I might not engineer it to that degree this first time. I might add that in later. Okay, so the automation wires are done. So let's reroute it. So this thermosensor is, if it is above, let's say, -20, it sends green signal. Or, oh, but, you know, it should be not gated too. So, I'll do that. So it's not the green signal that we want. Green signal is open the door. So I'm going to set up a NOT gate to flip the signals from green to red, because red closes the door. And then this thermosensor is going to determine whether or not the coolant goes for another loop, which is going to require a liquid shutoff. So if it's too hot, or if it's not hot, if it's not cool enough, it goes through a coolant loop. But if it's cool enough, it just stays there. And this can use the same conductive wiring that that we have hooked up to the metal refinery and everything else. Alright, here, refined carbon is in this box. And then we are going to want another box. Storage bin here and here for lime and refined iron. But for steel, we'll probably want to bring it back to the base. I don't want to store steel up here. Well, it's close to space. Maybe we do. Because most of our steel is probably going to go into spacefaring stuff. So this is going to be for lime. We're also going to want a box for probably fossils. To be able to... Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Not fossils. This is going to be for iron. Refined iron. But not fossils. Fossils should be stored near the rock crusher. Stored near the... yeah. So let's set up a box for fossils here, I guess. And then this would be for steel. Alright, trying to get the power ready. Which is kind of annoying because I'm sure for lead, we're probably having to go all the way down here. Because this is mostly where you get the lead. I also haven't gone out of my way to get fossils yet. So I'm sure I don't have a lot of them. So we have like 30 lime so far. Come on, it's getting too cold. Build that. The other thing that we can build here is temp shift plates. That would be in what? Furniture? I'll just search. Temp. And I'm going to do, like, diamond temp shift plates. Yeah, that's enough. And that will act as, like, a way to move the temperature around more quickly, but also, like, thermal capacity. And I can mine up some more diamonds to add to the, its utilities. Got it. To add to the total volume. Right, so this is for steel. I don't have any steel, so that's great. Alright, this knot gate is going to be a 9. I need that built so that we don't super freeze the area. One run of steel making and this super cold will go away pretty quick. We just... And it should already be powered. Unless I have a hole in the cables. Oh, I do have a hole in the cable. So we've got a little bit of natural gas and like a tank and a half of oh, a sage hatchling. A tank and a half of hydrogen. Oh, the knot gate is not actually wired. Yeah, that would do it. Let's try that again for the 5th time. Nope, nope, not there. This. There we go. So, construction 9. Some of that is for the temp shift plates, but whatever, it's fine. Come on. And it looks like the metal refinery is ready for a first batch. So let's run it, because it's getting really cold in here. So this is going to be priority 7. And it has all the materials delivered. Lime, the refined carbon, and the iron. So pretty soon here, we'll have our first batch of steel. It's taken surely a long time, but we're getting there. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Bionic Booster Pack DLC Marathon, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 15th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I asked for no backseating, and also feedback cannot be incorporated because the entire series was already streamed once as a marathon. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow duplicants.